Jerry, at what stage are you getting involved with me when it comes to real estate?
Well, ironically, a lot of people have a misconception that the first phone call should be to a real estate agent.
Yes.
My opinion is that the first phone call should be to the real estate lawyer. The reason is that if you have the availability of a professional in the law department and a professional in the real estate department, in conjunction, the two of them can best protect your interest. Real estate agents are very experienced in showing the properties, knowing the price. The real estate lawyer is much more experienced in clauses that need to be put into an agreement of purchase and sale to protect your interest on closing.
Okay.
Ultimately, it's the contract that's signed at the time that you purchase the property that defines what your rights and privileges are when it comes to closing. For example, if there's work to be done on a home, unless the wording in the contract is done correctly, you could find that you end up in small claims court suing the vendor for the work that was never done as promised in the agreement of purchase and sale.
So it goes back to the wording that's in the clause.
Absolutely. So if your home inspection discloses some defects in the home, and as the purchaser you want those defects corrected prior to closing, you can insist that the vendor complete the work. However, if the clause is not worded properly, you could find that the work is not done and you're still obligated to close the transaction. So what I like to do is I like to put a clause in the agreement that obligates the vendor to complete the work at least 5 days prior to closing.
Okay.
With that clause, it gives the purchaser an opportunity to go in and make sure that the work is done. In addition to the clause that the work must be done 5 days prior, I also put a clause in the contract that said if the work is not completed prior to closing, then there will be a holdback held by the purchaser's lawyer. Now you're putting an extra onus on the vendor to get the work done. If the work is not completed, you close the transaction, now the purchaser's lawyer is entitled to hold back sufficient funds to ensure that the work is completed.
Okay, so we're not just coming to see you on closing day. We're coming to see you probably right before we're putting an offer in on a home so that you can help us with the wording.
Absolutely, and
Okay.
my services, there should be no additional cost to the purchaser. That's the service that a lawyer should be offering their client. And with our involvement, no one's washing their hands at the end of the day. I've had lots of times where a lawyer goes, well, I wasn't involved in the agreement, I had nothing to do with it. The real estate agent says, this is the lawyer's problem, deal with him. If everybody's working together, the purchaser is able to say, hey, both of you were involved, both of you fix this for me.
Great, well, great information there. Where can somebody get more information on you?
You can contact me by phone at 905-304-5535. I have a receptionist that answers the phone 9 to 5. Or on my website. My website is www.gatto4.ca. And my email is there and I can be contacted by email. And I respond fairly quickly.
Great, well, thank you very much.
My pleasure, Tracy.